In this video, we will look at how can we create the two scatter plot, which by default, if you are using the regression command on Excel, you cannot find it. So we need to create it. One is the residual against the predicted y value. Another is the residual against the order of the observation. So the first residual against the predicted y value, we can use it to test the assumption for the model that the residual with the mean 0. The second plot, residual against the order, we will use the test assumption that the residual are independent from each other. So first, let's create the first plot, use the residual against the predicted y value. So we will use our example, the number of ads. How does the number of ads affect the number of the TV sold? And the number of the ads affect the number of the car sold. So as I mentioned, when you do the regression analysis, you will have four parts of the output: the regression statistic, another table, the estimated regression model, and the last part is our residual output. So you always have the first column, observation, which is the order of the observations. The second column, the predicted car sold, which is our predicted y value or estimated y value. And the third column is the residual, and the last column is the standard residual. So in order to create the two scatter plot, we will use the first column, observation, second column, predicted y value, and the third column, residuals. So first, find the Insert tab, and under the Insert tab, find the scatter plot. So click the scatter, and use the basic one, the scatter plot. So once you click it, you can see this chart area. So you need to select the data. So find the design under the chart tools. Then find here we have the selected data. So click select the data, and then click add. So now you will have option to choose X value and Y value. Try to remember our vertical axis and horizontal axis for our residual against the predicted Y value. So in that plot, the vertical axis is the residual, which is our Y value, and the horizontal axis is our predicted Y value, which is our predicted car sold, which is X value. So first, click this little icon for the X value. Choose the X value for the predicted as our predicted car sold from B25 to B29. Then click this little icon. Then choose the Y value, which is our residual. Click this little icon. Choose from the C25 to C29, and click this little icon. Then click this click OK, and OK. So now we create this chart, which is our residual against the predicted Y value. So the vertical axis is for the predicted car sold. The vertical axis is for the residual, and the horizontal axis is our predicted car sold. So from this scatter plot, we can see a very significant curvature here. So which means we cannot see the residual are evenly distributed around our zero horizontal line, so our assumptions are violated. And now let's look at another scatter plot, residual against our observation, the number of the observation. So what we will do is we find an open clear area, clear cell selected, and then click the insert, and find the scatter plot again, scatter. Now we will select the data and add. So we will use the exactly same Y value, which is residual, but we will change the X value to our observation. So since it's all the residual against the order of the observation, so select the X value from A25 to A29. Then select the Y value, which is the residual, from C25 to C29. Then click OK and click OK. Now this chart we create here is the residual against the order of the observation. So we cannot see any pattern, so we can get a conclusion that the residual are independent from each other.